every time I've gone to like a doctor or I've gone to the ER or just whatever reason I've gotten my blood pressure taken, I've never been diagnosed medicine. They've always told me, you know, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. And today I was diagnosed a high blood pressure medicine, which for me was pretty eye-opening. It just made me realize that this doctor cares. This doctor is there for me.
Diagnosed a high blood pressure medication? Wait, I thought you didn't even have high blood pressure. Hello, my loves. This latest gem about Amberlynn's high blood pressure diagnosis is just the tip of the iceberg. I have got some juicy clips for you today. This is gonna be a long video, primarily because Amberlynn loves to go to the ER for any minor inconvenience. So whether you're just cleaning the house or just chilling, stick around because this is gonna be a good one. Let's go.
Hey guys, so if you watched our last vlog, you know that I went to the ER yesterday. Nothing. I left without a diagnosis or anything, like literally nothing. And I woke up today even worse. And if you didn't watch that last vlog, the last 3 days I've been having belly button, like navel, stomach pain, but it's not like inside my stomach, it's the outside. It hurts mainly when I bend. I woke up today and now I'm bleeding out of my belly button. So something is obviously not right. I was gonna see my actual doctor, but I kind of can't because it's the weekend. And the ER yesterday said if I get any worse to go back to ER, but I'm not going back to that ER because they just seemed very nonchalant. So I'm gonna go to a different one. I'm just really nervous and I just hope nothing's like really wrong. Alrighty, so in the car, Becky had to go get something out of the house. So she's gonna go do that and then we're off to the appointment. This hospital is about an hour and a half away. Not really looking forward to the car ride, but I mean, some days I'm cool with it. Other days my anxiety is so high that I just can't stand being in a car.
So far, there's been no mention of how Beck feels about all this. Don't get me wrong, you should definitely take care of your loved ones, but it seems like it's all about her feelings and her anxiety, not even a simple, I'm grateful Beck is driving all this distance just for me. But hey, let's keep watching.
That's kind of where I'm at right now, but my health is more important. I'm a mess. See, the situation is, I'm in pain. I feel the pain mainly when I'm bending or like kind of shifting, if that makes sense. But as I'm sitting here, I feel no pain at all. So it's like, I don't feel nauseous. I don't feel anything like that. Like, I feel like I'm in a good mood. But then I move just a little bit, or I remember that my actual belly button is bleeding and I'm like, oh yeah, that's going on. So we have been at the hospital for literally 10 minutes. We've already seen a nurse and a doctor. This hospital, ER, way better than the one I went to yesterday. Like, they have been on top of it. Love it. But, yeah, I'll have to update you guys on everything when I leave because I feel weird filming here. But look at Becky over there. I'm on this bed situation, so I just got home. I'm just sitting outside. My purse is weirdly around my neck. Don't mind that. I'm just, it's like, I don't care. So I got seen pretty freaking quickly at the hospital, which was pretty nice. It was weird because they didn't take my blood. I didn't have to pee in a cup. Ooh, the wind. If you guys can't hear me over the wind, I'm very sorry. It just like comes and goes. But yeah, I didn't have to do anything like that. You know, the nurse came in, looked at my belly button, then almost immediately after the doctor did, and he cleaned it up. I didn't realize actually how bad it was bleeding until, you know, he was cleaning it, and I was just like, wow.
For anyone that's new, by the way, I think it's worth letting you know that Amberlynn is a sensationalist, meaning that she will over-dramatize things. So where she says it was so bad, I don't know if I believe that, if I'm honest.
He swabbed it, you know, all that sort of stuff, but I feel like things are still just kind of up in the air. He came back and he told me it might be an infection, like nothing is like for sure. He's like, it might be an infection, and he said it might be something that needs to be surgically fixed. And I was just like, I don't know. So he put me on 2 antibiotics, and one is a topical and the other one is oral, and I have to do the oral 3 times a day, and I have to do the other one 2 times a day. So that was a pretty penny. So on top of that, I am like so confused, because then another woman comes back and she hands me, because you know how like when you leave a hospital they give you like papers on what your diagnosis is. She came back with papers about cellulitis, and I was just like, okay, that's weird. And she explained, you know, he's just giving you this just in case this is what it is. And I'm just like, okay. Like, I know from experience everything about cellulitis because I've had it twice.
Good God, how rude was that ER woman to insult Amberlynn's intelligence like that? Amberlynn's had cellulitis twice now, so naturally she's an expert. According to Dr. Lynn, this is definitely not cellulitis. On a serious note though, the ER isn't where you go to get a diagnosis for every little thing. Medicine is complex. It's not a neat little puzzle that you think, Amber.
It was both times in high school. The second time I actually was hospitalized because I was like literally on the verge of death. It was one of the most scarier times of my life. And to me, this doesn't really feel like cellulitis, because before I couldn't eat. I couldn't even think straight. I had a fever that was like 105. That's when I was hospitalized. I had the chills and all that. And like, I was puking a lot. Like, it was bad. And I don't have any of that. I guess there are certain situations where you don't get all that with cellulitis. But the 2 times I have had it, that has been, you know, what happened.
Sorry, Dr. Lynn, where did you get your medical degree from? It's just that I've got a medical question and you seem like an expert.
And I don't know, but you know, today's Sunday, tomorrow's Monday. God, I can't even talk. Tomorrow's Monday. As soon as it's Monday, like literally, I am going to call my doctor's office, make an appointment for as early as possible, as soon as possible, and hopefully get this figured out, because this is just a lot. Like, it's still very up in the air, and I don't want anything super wrong to be there. Like, I'm scared, and even Becky's scared, and it was so sad. But on the way, like when she was driving, she started crying, and I was just like, babe, what's wrong? And she was just so worried about me that she just started crying, and it was so random. Like, we weren't even talking about anything.
I hate to break it to you, but they were probably crying because you still want answers, and they've got to still drive you up and down the doctor's office again for hours.
She just started crying, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, she's just really worried too. And, you know, it is scary, and it's just, this is kind of out of my control right now. I'm gonna take the antibiotics and do what is said of me. Ooh, the sun got covered by a cloud, you could probably tell.
What's with the drama? It's just a belly button infection. You're not on your deathbed, Amberlynn.
You guys know that feeling when you know you're fixing to get like a sore throat and you just like feel it coming in? Well, I was sitting there and I was like, I feel like I'm getting a sore throat. But then I had a moment where I was like, okay, maybe it's just allergies, because I just got done holding Becky's sister's cat and my eyes were itching. So I was like, allergy, smallergy, I'll be totally fine. Well, long story short, my nose is stuffy, my throat hurts really bad, sneezing. So I've caught myself a cold. I already have Dayquil and NyQuil from when I thought I was sick, from when I was shivering and had a really high fever. You guys remember that when I went to the ER. Turns out I wasn't sick, but now I am, so hello.
In your own words, that's so Amberlynn coded.
I got super sick and I had to go to the hospital. I was puking and having diarrhea about every 3 minutes. And the doctor's actually like, I'm very glad you came here because you have a really bad stomach virus. I'm gonna give you a shot and I hope it helps. And honestly, it did not help.
All right, I'm calling it here. The doctor did not say that they're thrilled that you came in for a virus and then handed you a shot. She sounds like a 5-year-old here, which is almost endearing. You know what most people suggest when you've got a stomach infection and you're running to the bathroom every 3 minutes? stay home.
You do know you don't just go to the ER and expect to be fixed, right? You're supposed to follow up. Yes, that is the reason why I've been going to the doctor frequently. I honestly prefer going to the ER because they do more tests.
I knew it. I just knew it. You heard it here, folks. She doesn't go to the ER because she thinks she's seriously ill. She goes for more tests. Amber, do you realize you are taking time and resources away from someone who's truly sick? Maybe a child or an elderly person. Heck, you yourself were seriously unwell for years and you didn't rush to the ER when you were bleeding profusely? But a mild fever sends you running? It's mind-boggling.
Hannah and Rafe left a couple hours ago, and I'm actually about to go to the hospital to the ER because that pain is still there in my back. Of course, it's nowhere near as bad as it was, but it's like a constant dull ache in my right lower back, kind of where you'd get some kidney pain. So I, for one, am worried, and I want to get that checked out or just see what the hospital says. It is midnight, so I'm going at a time where not a lot of people are usually there. So I'm going to try my hardest not to take up anyone's time. I just know that if something is wrong with my kidneys, I better nip it in the butt now.
Nip it into what now, girl? I mean, okay, if you think you got a kidney infection and if it's really bad, then fine, fair enough. But again, if you're feeling better, why can't it wait till, if this is a Sunday, why can't it wait till tomorrow, a Monday, where you can see your regular doctor?
But that's just where my head is going and where I'm worried. It could be a UTI. I've never had one before, so I don't know. So I'm just really nervous. So I just got my blood taken. Traumatizing. And I also had a pee in a cup.
I hate it when people devalue words like that. No, Amber, it is not traumatizing to have your blood taken. She's acting as if she's the first person ever to step foot in an ER. This is standard practice. They perform multiple tests quickly to pinpoint potential health threats. Time is critical in emergency situations. That's why it's important to make an appointment with your doctor to talk about this and not misuse resources like this. They're not doing it because you're special, Amber. They're doing it to everyone.
Cool. Okay, so I'm back home, which means I'm back on my camera. I didn't feel like lugging this to the hospital. That would have been weird. But, okay, so I got my blood done. I had a pee in a cup. And I was really scared. It really was. For some reason, like, my kidneys were just in my brain really bad. And I've never suffered with like a UTI or a bladder infection, which is the same thing pretty much. And so I was scared. And I get back pain a lot, and this didn't feel like any back pain I've ever experienced ever. So I knew something's a little off. I kept telling people that in my life. I was like, this isn't the normal back pain that I usually get. So I was definitely freaking out and worried about it. So after they did the test, the doctor came in, and he came in and told me I have a gnarly bladder infection.
Isn't it interesting that whenever Amberlynn talks to a doctor, they're always like, oh, Amberlynn, I'm so glad that you've come in. I'm so thrilled that you've come in. Oh, it's so important that you've come in. You've got a gnarly infection. Personally, I don't think that this is every doctor's reaction to seeing Amber in a hospital. I think this is part of her narcissistic trait because she likes to feel important. It's also why she brags about, I had to get my blood done and I had to pee in a cup and they had to check my blood pressure. Like, no, Amberlynn, they do this for everyone.
So this is the first time I've ever had one, and he explained to me like how people get it and why, and prescribed me some medicine, and I got 2 shots to the hip in the same spot. It burned so bad that I cried. I cried like a baby. I was an actual child. It was antibiotics, and yeah, so that was a thing. It still burns currently, but that's okay. So something, I'm kind of all over the place, I'm sorry, but something that I did ask him was, are you sure it's not my kidneys? I know you shouldn't question a doctor, but sometimes you have to, because when I went to the ER years ago, I knew I had gallstones. Like, I just knew it in my heart. And they kept telling me, no you don't, no you don't. And I was like, do the ultrasound and prove it. And I was right. I did. I had gallstones.
Okay, what was that lip thing? Don't do that again, Amber. Anyway, with regards to the gallbladder, gallstone thing, you do not actually have to do anything for a gallstone if it's not causing any problems. So, you didn't do anything there, honey.
So sometimes you have to kind of stand your ground just a little bit. So I felt like, are you sure it's not my kidneys? I wasn't like questioning his like doctorate. I wasn't questioning his smartness or anything, but I was worried. So I did ask him, and he told me no. Nothing to do with my kidneys at all. It was a big relief for me. So he said that my bladder infection should be gone in the next like 4 days by taking the antibiotics. So ready. So I'm super happy about that. So if you guys are curious why I have a bladder infection, I hold my pee a lot. It's a very bad habit, and that's one of the ways you can get a bladder infection. I can hold my pee for hours.
I think she just added this bit just because I know that in her comment section, not a lot of people are nice, and most people would make comments about her hygiene. And to be honest, it really isn't down to just hygiene. It does play a role, but yeah, holding your pee isn't a great thing to do.
So it's 7:37, and I want to say about 20 minutes ago, I just got really cold with shivers, a little bit of nausea. Like I'm freezing right now. I was sitting on the floor, and the floor is like super cold because we have like, what is it, hardwood floors? So I don't know if it's because the floor was cold, but I'm like freezing, and I'm a little nervous. So I'm just hoping I'm not like getting sick or whatever, but I would say keep me in your thoughts, but this video won't be up. So I'm just gonna sit in my room for a bit and try to get as warm as possible. I did take my temperature, but it was only 96.6, which doesn't really make sense because isn't that like low? I don't know, but I'll keep you guys updated. So it's 8:19. I have a heating pad on my lap to help. I took my temperature again, 99.9. It's supposed to snow tonight. But I think if my temperature, sorry for all the pills on my blanket, but if my temperature gets to 102, I think I'm gonna have to go to the ER.
This is the one where she ends up going to the ER only to be sent home with "you're fine, dude." I mean, a fever is your body's natural defense mechanism. A high temperature means that it's fighting something off. If you're not sure and you're really worried, sure, go and get checked, but maybe try some home remedies or medication first. And if you were genuinely sick, how do you even have the energy to film yourself?
Because it's like, could be anything. Flu, strep throat. I've been having pain in my back, which I talked about last vlog. Like, I just don't know. So right now we're at 100.7, and it's been an hour since the last time I checked it. I'm at the hospital. Look how dry my lips are. I've been trying to drink a lot of water though, but my temperature slowly rose even though I took NyQuil, and my temperature got up to 103.1, which like my brain like felt drunk. It's so weird. So I came here and they took my blood. I peed for them. They swab my nose. So hopefully we can get this figured out because I feel horrible. So we've been back home for about 9 hours now, and I slept. I'm not really gonna talk about my diagnosis. Let's just say I'm gonna heal with medicine, hopefully. It's not the flu or anything like that, which is kind of bittersweet. I almost wish it was the flu, but it's okay. Right now I'm having some chicken noodle soup.
Oh, isn't this just such an Amberlynn thing to do? Like, film everything, build this suspense, and then be like, oh, I don't want to talk about it. I mean, earlier in the beginning of these videos, she did say that she went to the ER when she had fever and it was all fine. So we know that it wasn't something deadly and she was just sent home with some medication. infection, and I think this was either that she had a UTI or she had cellulitis and she didn't want to tell us. In fact, I think it might have been cellulitis because I remember someone was saying that Amberlynn was embarrassed about having skin infections so frequently, so she didn't want to talk about it. But I might be wrong. I don't know.
With a lot of pepper because it's like the best way to have it. I feel absolutely miserable. I haven't even changed my clothes because I don't even have like any energy whatsoever. We downloaded, what's it called? Disney Plus. It actually came out today. So we've been watching that and it's just kind of like, I just feel, but my plan was to vlog. I wasn't expecting this to happen. My lips are still super dry, indicates dehydration, even though I am drinking so much water. I don't even know how much more I need to drink to not become dehydrated. I look like an actual crazy person, but I'm gonna eat the soup. We're actually watching Finding Nemo. Becky's gonna eat her food, and yeah.
The self-importance here is quite fascinating, actually. Remember that video that I uploaded, Amberlynn annoying Beck for however many minutes long? Even when Beck has a migraine, Amber just laughs it off, no sympathy bone whatsoever. And how about when she had sinusitis and made Beck drive to get her food? It's never, oh my god, Beck, we need to drive you to the ER. It's always about her. I sometimes think that Amber thinks to herself that, well, I've earned this lifestyle, so I'm more important than you.
So, I wish I could enjoy the beautiful snow, but I'm actually going back to the ER. Something else came up. Like I said, I don't know if I want to talk about it, so just hoping for the best. I will say though, the snow falling down feels so good because I've been really hot the last few hours. So they had to prick me 3 different times because they couldn't find a vein, but they finally did. I might be getting some antibiotics.
What is the point on taking us on a journey and not sharing the outcome? It's like, why did you start filming it in the beginning? If you didn't want people to know, surely you just don't talk about it, full stop. She does this till this day.
So yesterday, my friends were over, Hannah and Rafe, and I don't know what I did. I honestly can't tell you, but I pulled my back somehow or twisted my back somehow, and all of a sudden I couldn't stand straight. It hurts really bad. I don't really know what to do besides take medicine and rest and hope for the best. It feels like I pulled a muscle in my right side, like kind of on the lower side of my back. It hurts really bad. I'm not that type of person to like go to the ER. I used to be, like I used to go to the ER, oh my god, years ago for the dumbest things in the world. And now it's just like, go to the ER if you really need to, because you're just wasting doctors' times and you're wasting your own time. So,
and after this, she did end up going to the ER for this as well. The problem is, the thing that makes me really sad is that she went to the ER for all of these dumb little things, but she never went for bleeding continuously. And it just makes me sad because if that was caught earlier, then maybe things wouldn't have got so bad. I don't know, maybe it would have, but it's the one thing that she didn't go to the ER for, or her doctor, and it really makes me sad. It's heartbreaking.
I don't want to waste anyone's time. So if I don't get better, I can just make a doctor's appointment. But a pulled back, what are they really gonna do? Nothing. They're just gonna give you medicine, which I'm already taking. So ibuprofen is supposed to really help with inflammation and pulled muscles. So I've been trying to take some of that. I hate medicine, but it is what it is. So I'm just kind of resting it up right now, and it definitely sucks because I feel almost like defeated and it's just not cute. Almost went to the ER last night because I was like, maybe it's time. Hey guys, so it is the next day. I am wearing the same thing I wore yesterday because I woke up and just threw it on because it was right next to the bed. But I am actually about to go to the ER. I only got about 4 hours of sleep, but really don't care. I noticed yesterday, I just feel like everything's falling apart. Like my whole body is just done. and I don't blame it. But yesterday I started noticing a pain slash little bit of, I guess you could call it maybe puffiness and hardness near my belly button. And my first instinct is hernia, because it also kind of hurt. And I am bigger, so hernia is not going to be shocking.
Unfortunately, Dr. Lynn misdiagnosed herself. This was also a belly button infection. It was cellulitis.
And I was waking up in the middle of the night, and I just noticed every time I tried to sit up a little, the pain was a lot worse. And now every time I bend, it's a lot worse. So it really seems like it's a hernia. I don't know. Normally I would just wait to go to my doctor or something, but I just feel like kind of scared because it could be something else. I'm not going to sit here and diagnose myself, but that's what it sounds like. And I'm pretty terrified. So I'm going to go to the ER. I know there's not much besides surgery if it is a hernia, and obviously I'm too big for surgery. I look insane, but they did blood test, pee test. I might get an IV, so that's the update.
Look at our girl looking so happy in the emergency room with all that attention. I'm kidding. You gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, she was afraid here. She does have health anxiety, but I think sometimes she does go overboard.
Hey guys, so it's actually the next day, and I wanted to give you an update yesterday, but after I came back from the ER, Becky and I took a really long nap. After the nap, I just kind of tried to preoccupy my mind, and we played, some Mario Party, a couple card games. So at the ER yesterday, they took my blood, did my pee, and they found nothing. And the doctor I saw was just like so nonchalant about how much pain I'm in and where it's located. They literally sent me home. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna, see my doctor. The only reason why I didn't wait is because yesterday was Saturday. Doctor's not open on Saturday. Today's Sunday. Doctor's not open today. I was like, okay, if the doctor's so nonchalant about the situation, literally sending me home without a diagnosis, maybe nothing's wrong.
She just doesn't get it, does she? It's not that nothing is wrong, and it's not that you don't have a diagnosis. It's just that it is not an emergency. And that is what an emergency room is for. It's not to diagnose your minor ailments. It's not. It's just for emergencies in case you get really sick and die.
So I kind of just was enduring the pain and trying to ignore it. And I woke up today. Not only does it hurt a little bit worse, but now this is like TMI, but hi, Amberlynn is trying to be honest with you guys. My belly button is bleeding, and that's never happened to me before, and it could be like a million different things, but it's like, I'm gonna go back to the ER.
Of course you're going to. Right, that brings us to the end of the video for today, my loves. Unfortunately, that's not the end of the Amberlynn going to the emergency room saga. There was so much more that I couldn't fit into one video. If you would like to have a part 2, let me know. I love you all so much. Enjoy the end of the video and leave me a comment, and I'll get back to you then. Bye-bye.
So we're on our way to work.
No, we're on our way to McDonald's.
You're a lot. If you eat faster, you get more.
I'm wearing the wrong shoes.
Pappy had a heart attack today. I hope that my hate will lower and my love will higher. But I was opening an avocado. You guys know that stupid circle that's in an avocado.
It's the seat.
It's B. We shouldn't be tearing someone down. We should be tearing people up. And I lost 89 pounds before. You're a lot. Mental things are, it's scary.